This is Made for More Living with Johnny Jennings. Online at madeformorerealty.com.
Well, thank you for tuning into this show. I hope you had a fantastic Thanksgiving. Today, we have a person that I am honored to call a friend. I've gotten to know him over the years. His name is Frank Klesitz. He's with Viral Marketing. And so we are going to be talking about buyers and sellers, kind of what you can expect happening in the market, and agents, how you can use what's happening in the market and use strategies that Frank employs to help more people. Thanks for being on the show, Frank.
Thanks, Johnny. Appreciate having me. Thank you for putting this on.
Yeah, happy to do it. Man, we've been working together now, I want to say on and off for like at least 5 years.
Long time.
And one of my favorite things about you is your perspective on communication, like how you get the message across. It's not short, it's not punchy, it's not salesy. It's you craft narrative. Why do you think that's important specifically for buyers and sellers? Like, why does that resonate with them?
Well, when you're negotiating, buying or selling a home, it's still human beings interacting with each other.
Yeah.
And you could sit here all day long and think people act rationally. It's been proven you don't. You act emotionally and rationalize rationally, so to speak. And the story you tell and how you make someone feel influences outcomes.
So true. I'm dealing with some clients right now, and man, they are so emotionally invested in this property. Like logically, what's happening to them is an absolute dream, but emotionally, it's not good enough, right? Because
and that's all humans, man. It's
Yeah.
it's the feeling brain is what controls us, and we try to think that we're rational, and we try to think that we can think, but that's more of a self-fulfilling idea than it is feeling. So when you write copy, when you communicate, usually in some respects, you're trying to persuade, especially as a buyer or seller, you're trying to persuade a deal to go a certain way. And if you could focus on you're dealing with humans, not necessarily the house, and you can make someone feel safe and heard, and you could enter the conversation going in their mind. Those are all things I think about when I write. Those are all things I think about when I communicate. And it's incredibly applicable to a buyer trying to negotiate the best deal. And those ideas are applicable to the seller trying to get the best deal. And usually whoever wins with that, gets an edge.
So what we've been using you for, one of your services is our newsletter that goes out. We do 2 video newsletters a month and then 1 text. And the open rates on those are crazy. They're going out to thousands of people, and we typically are getting somewhere north of 40% open rates. How do you come up with topics that, like, how do you figure out what you're going to say or what we're going to present on that month?
Well, I think for anyone listening who wants to create better content, is you first have to understand that your audience are not your peers. Sometimes you want to create content to impress your peers.
Mm-hmm.
Check that bias. And what you're trying to do is create content for, I don't know, the people that are going to pay you, your customers. And generally, that's a different mindset. It really grounds you when it's like, I need to create content for my buyers, my clients, my customers, whatever it is, not the peers. And then once you do that, you have to ask yourself, okay, what do my customers or my future clients want? What do they need from me? What demand can I supply? That's the right way to think about it from your customers. And the easiest way to frame that is through question and answer. What questions are your customers actually asking? Not the ones you think they're asking, not the ones you want them to ask.
I was just going to say that one, the ones I want them to ask.
Yeah, no. In marketing, we have the message to market match. What are the questions they are actually asking? And what you'll find is they're usually, when you actually get the real questions, they're very simple. Or, it could be implied as being naive in some way. Like almost the questions might be beneath you of how simple these questions are. But let me remind you, at your market, You are the expert. You're not trying to impress your peers.
Mm-hmm.
And when you humble yourself and you listen to the needs of your market and you simply just title the video, you title the newsletter, you title the social media post, literally, even as they directly in the way they ask the question, and then you answer it, you know that you're supplying exactly what people demand, and you're going to attract your ideal customer who actually pays you, and you have a perfect message to market match. And that's the foundation. And the more you gravitate away from that premise, the more dangerous you get of putting messages out there, but it's not resonating with people that are going to hire you.
Got it. So, I mean, I've come up with here. I'm trying to log into my my viral dashboard right now, but like questions that I think people are really interested in hearing about right now are like things like cash offers, because they're seeing, like, I have billboards in the area, talking about guaranteed offers, cash offers. They see it every single time they hop on Zillow or they hop on Realtor.com. There's the option for a cash offer. So you're saying like simple things like that, like just having conversations around, hey, this is what's going through their mind. I'm putting myself in the customer's shoes.
The question we get with that?
Hmm.
What is a cash offer? Is someone showing up with a briefcase of cash?
Yeah. Yeah. How's this work? Do they just show? I so many times I show up and they're like, well, where's my offer? And I'm like, hold up. Like, I haven't even been in the house yet. I don't, is a cash offer even good for you? Because, just because it's a full market cash offer, a full market cash offer has different economics around it than a retail buyer.
And when you're creating content, here's the thing to keep in mind is it's impossible to give specific advice to a broad audience.
That's good.
So you get these questions that are like extremely specific, like, is now a good time to sell my house? Like, you can't ethically answer that in a video to tell someone what to do without knowing the situation, right?
Very true. Yeah, yeah.
So, it's really helpful that when you get these specific questions, you start the video where it's like, hey, I understand the context or the premise or why you're asking this. And it's very difficult to give you specific advice or give specific advice to a broad audience, but let me maybe go through some different scenarios and share with you which way you might want to lean given if this is your situation. And then after watching this video, if you'd like some more personalized advice based upon your specific needs, book a call with me. I can help you.
One of the topics that just went through the roof for us was back to the guaranteed offer. Should you trust a guaranteed offer? Right? I think sometimes when you speak to the fear that people are experiencing, the uncertainty, then that also increases the engagement rate. Like, you're speaking to what they're saying, what they're thinking, but not necessarily what they're saying. That one had almost a 5x open rate compared to what we normally have. Like,
should you trust a guaranteed offer? I love that.
Yeah. Well, I think it was you guys that came up with it. So
I love it more.
There you go. So that's one of the things that's why Frank's on the show today, is we strive to come up with topics and ideas that we think buyers and sellers are interested in, how we can add value. And so if you're interested, if you want to subscribe to the newsletter, it's free. It doesn't cost anything. You just go to madeformorerealty.com and we can get you signed up there. That's madeformorerealty.com. But when we come back, Frank, I want to talk about that guy behind you. I think I recognize one of those people behind you.
I don't know if you've noticed, but there are a lot of holiday movies out, and my children want to see every single one of them. But of course, we're not going to go see every holiday film in the movie theater. Do you know how much popcorn is? So that's why before we head out to the movie theater and spend hundreds of dollars to see a movie and buy the popcorn, et cetera, I go online and I make sure it's going to be a quality movie that I'm going to enjoy. So I look at the reviews. I go to Rotten Tomatoes. I look at the parental reviews to make sure sure there's no bad language or inappropriate content for my kids. And so if we do that for the movies that we watch, why not do that for our real estate agents, the people who are going to represent us and help us sell or purchase our home? Well, check this out. If you go onto Google and you search Made for More Realty, Johnny Jennings and the Tom Daves team at Made for More Realty, you're going to find over 1,000 5-star Google reviews raving about the quality of work that the team at Made for More Realty has provided, the amazing job that they did in selling homes at a record price and a quick amount of time. So, if you're concerned about who you're working with, why not check out the reviews? Again, just Google Johnny Jennings with Made for More Realty. There's over 1,000 5-star reviews, and they were voted #1 team in Roseville for 3 years in a row. So again, Google Johnny Jennings with Made for More Realty and get more for your home.